Hey guys, welcome back to the Strafe Zone and welcome back to my Dark Souls 2 playthrough. I'm here at the Hades Tower of Flame. We just defeated the Pursuer, I think, in the last episode. It was a big victory for us. Got a little bit of armor, which I'm going to show you now. So we picked up the Drain Lake Mail, which is really good starting equipment, or really good equipment to pick up at the beginning of the game. It's a little bit heavy for me, but it's got really good defensive qualities, so if you upgrade your vitality, as you can see here I've upgraded a little bit. If you upgrade your vitality enough, you might be able to wear a couple of pieces of it and still remain below 70% equip load. I'm going to stick with the knight armor that I found down in the unseen path down here, and that's our next destination. So I'm making my way to No Man's Wharf. I did come down here before and show you guys this part in here before when I picked up the knight armor, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and run past these guys because you have already seen me beat them. And I'll show you the way forward. Same strategy if you do want to beat these guys as you did up in the Hades Tower of Flame. They're just going to do the same 3 attack combo every time. You're going to want to pull this to make it come back if you've already taken it down. And just watch that. You're still protected here because you've got a fence, so even if I do jump onto this platform, I don't think they'll come after me. Well, it's getting a bit tense here. Sorry guys, I gotta run. Bye bye. Taking this elevator down here to the unseen path and then following this along. I think from memory this is gonna... yeah, this is where we meet our friend Lucatiel of Mirror. Now, in previous versions of the game before they patched it, which I think they patched it last week, she was very, very difficult to keep alive. Like, you would summon her for a fight and she would die within a few hits. From what I've seen though, I think she's a lot more useful, so I'm definitely going to be summoning her for a couple of fights that I can. And here she is here. She does have quite interesting dialogue, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to let her talk, and you can hear what she has to say.
What is it? I don't know you, and you don't know me. Things are better that way. You are an odd one. Normally, people keep a safe distance when they see this mask. But you... I'm called Lucatiel. From the land of Mirror to the far east, across the mountains. They say Drang Lake brims with powerful souls. And so I came to claim my share. But what a strange place.
A strange place indeed.
You are an odd one indeed. I've always made a point of avoiding people, while you've made a point of engaging me.
That's not what she really looks like, by the way. So, if you talk to her enough and gain her trust, and show that you're willing to talk to her, she'll actually take that mask off.
My sword is always ready. Don't hesitate to call upon me. What?
I'll definitely be calling upon you. If you rest at this bonfire here, she'll take off. She does leave her summoning sign down later on in the level. Hopefully I get to show you guys where it is. But for now, this is No Man's Wharf. a little bit of a step up in difficulty from the Forest of the Fallen Giants. It's a really cool level. It's quite long, and parts of it are quite difficult as well. A couple of interesting mechanics and a little bit of teamwork that the enemies use to take you down. You'll see those guys that look like Vikings actually throw little oil casks at you. It'll coat you in petrol or fuel or oil, and you've got your flaming archers who follow that up with a flame arrow. It just sets you on fire. Deals massive damage, so if you do happen to get coated in oil, you can just jump into the water and rinse yourself off. Have a shower. These guys hit quite hard. If you're still in your starting armor, you may want to go and level the armor up or increase its defensive properties or wear some better armor, because these guys hit a little bit harder than what you're used to coming from the forest. I'm just checking these buildings to see if we've got anything in here to pick up. I don't think so. Well, alright, so we've got a guy to the left, guy to the right here with a dog. Just thinking of the best way to take this on. I took out the dog. It's a little bit of a win. I'm trying to take out this guy here with as little damage as possible. See that Hade sword just still going strong. It's only +4, but it's still enough to beat these guys in 2 hits. Yeah, you can see him trying to throw that task on me. It just, you've got terrible aim up close. They always seem to hit you at the most inopportune time. Alright, this just takes us back out to where we were. I think we can go down across there, but if I do, there's guys up the top that'll shoot me with arrows, so I'm going to come at this from above. Alright, just clearing these buildings. Just going in SWAT style. Clear. Their armor that they drop, it's not too bad. I like the hat. Reminds me a bit of Skyrim. Now these guys here, this is the trick. They will carve you up and they inflict bleed even if you block. So what you want to do is, because they're afraid of the light, and this is one of the first times you'll get to use this mechanic in the game. Just light the torch. Hehehe. The tables have turned now, haven't they? What's up now, darkness? Sorry, little Dave Chappelle reference. Yeah, so they'll run into that house. If you want, you can go into this house, defeat these guys, and upstairs there is a trader called Gavlan. He's really useful. I might come back to him later. But he can sell stuff to him, you can buy poison equipment from him. He's really, really good. You have to be careful though, once you talk to him and leave this area, he will leave the area for good and go somewhere else in the game a bit later on. You won't be able to access him. So I'm going to leave him for now until I've cleared out the place. I might come back to him. So you can see me making my way up here. Eventually, the aim of this is to get up to this top platform and to ring this bell. I'll show you what this does. So you can see the lights go on in the ghost ship over there. It actually calls it over so that we can board. It's really awesome, really, really cool. A couple of life gems, it's really handy. I was thinking before, I don't really have any life gems. I tend to use life gems rather than Estus, just because I want to save the Estus for really important events, but then I end up just using all my life gems and still having the Estus left over because I kind of do okay. Right, so in this building here, I think there are a couple of guys that we need to deal with, but this is where we can find Lucatiel's summon sign. There it is there. It's very difficult to find. You'd probably imagine that her summon sign's going to be, you know, somewhere close to the boss, but it isn't. Don't ask me why. Just the way it is. There she is, there's my girl. Now I'm going to continue her storyline and her quest line all the way through to its completion. Because, believe it or not, I've never actually done it. That's probably because pre-patch she was really, really useless. Like, she was near impossible to keep her alive on some fights that you can summon her for. I believe that you need to summon her for 3 out of the 4 and keep her alive for 3 out of the 4 fights that you can summon her for. Now the boss at the end here is one of them, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to light this torch again. Let's scare off these creepy guys down the bottom here. Hopefully Lucatiel doesn't go after them. She is. Yes, get lost. Alright, Lucatiel, excellent. Alright, Lucatiel's got that guy. It's important to notice that these two dudes hanging on here are going to come after you if you don't deal with them now. So I just want to get them to get up onto the platform. If you've got arrows or spells, you can just hit them while they're still hanging on and it just knocks them off. Really cool. And not that it's as of importance to me, but it may be important to you guys if you're a spellcaster or if you're playing any sort of, if you want to use some spells. I think you need to have 5 or 10 intelligence and this guy will talk to you.
I see light, but it remains dim. I am Carillion. And I've no interest
Carillion
in
of
the
the
magic
Fold
impaired.
will sell you spells and magic related items. I think he's calling me a little bit stupid, which I don't really care for. He sees light in me, but it's dim. Thanks, Carillion.
I see light.
Well, if you're so smart, why haven't you found a way to beat the boss yet? Nah. Get rid of that flame now. Deal with these guys first. Just going to come down here. I don't think there's any items of note down here, but you can see this is really cool ship. And our next boss, the Flexile Sentry. Let's do it, Lucatiel. Don't let me down now, girl. Essentially, the Flexile Sentry is just a boss with 2 sides. So you've got the slashing sword guy, which is probably your biggest danger in this fight, and you've got the club guy on the other side, and they will switch between one, so you know at least when the slashing guy is slashing, as it were, the club guy is not going to be attacking, so you can run up and hit him. If you've got Lucatiel, she tends to draw the enemy's attention away from you, which is good, so you can just go to work. And as you can see, it doesn't take much. If you're worried about things and you need to heal, you can use this pole here sort of to get a little bit of a rest and to block him out so you can take an Estus Flask safely. I don't think I'm going to do that. As you can see, me and Lucatiel, we got this. We're rock solid, we got this. And there's the Flexile Sentry, defeated. Thanks, Lucatiel. So it's really good to summon her there, because this is quite an easy boss fight, and it's good to get one of the summons that you need to complete out of the way here. Another thing is, I made the mistake. As soon as you come up here, you see this weird table and you examine it, and it takes you to your next area. What you want to do is grab this pyromancy glove that's in here, because it's quite difficult to get back here if you miss it. You're going to have to run the entire level again, which I don't want to do. So Pyromancy Flame and Fireball. It's really handy to have some Pyromancy as well, especially if you're like me on this character. I'm not taking any Faith or Intelligence. I'm just going to be pure melee damage. It's nice to have a little bit of variety and have, you know, at least one Pyromancy attuned. So at least get a little bit of attunement so you can cast at least one Pyromancy spell. And that spell from now is probably going to be Fireball, but you're going to want Flame Swathe, and that is a really powerful Pyromancy that we're going to pick up soon enough. For now, we're taking the ship to who knows where. Interesting, it still doesn't tell you where we are yet. Guess we've got no better option, just got to take the boat to wherever it takes us. Not really anything else in here to do apart from take the elevator up, so let's do it. Back in No Man's Wharf, there are a few more things we can do. It's important to have Pharos Lockstone, because you'll find there's a little Pharos device in the ground, which will, when you use a Lockstone on it, it actually lights up the entire area, which makes it really easy for you to sort of use bow and arrow to take guys out from range, or to use your spells to actually be able to target them. Comes in handy, at least when you're starting out. I didn't worry about it because I don't think that there's too many important items that I missed. I don't think I missed anything apart from going to see Gavlan, and we'll go back to Gavlan. Don't worry about that. Alright, so you take the Radiant Life Gem, and there are a range of sort of cells here. I think only one of them has anything in it. It's this one. I think it's a common fruit. And further up, we're going to get a bonfire, which we can save at and rest at. So I'm going to show you guys the first part of the Lost Bastille, and I'm then going to gear up for our next boss fight, and I think in the next video we're going to take on the boss of this area, and also I might even throw in the boss of the Blue Cathedral, the old Dragon Slayer, get some revenge for that death that I experienced before. And here we see another one of the Haid Knights. I feel a bit confident taking him on now because I have a shield, so let's get it on, buddy. So this guy's got a spear, which means he's going to come at us from a bit more of a range. Still shouldn't be an issue, though. As long as you're good enough to block and get the backstab in when you can, he shouldn't be an issue for you now. He dropped the spear, which is really good. I believe you need Faith to use the spear. Let's have a look. No, just dexterity, and quite a high dexterity number at that, 25. So now down here, you can come down here and get a couple of items. I'll show it to you now. Soul of a Brave Warrior is actually really good. It's 5 or 8,000, I believe, souls, and a human effigy. Human effigy's always handy. Try and hoard as many of them as you can. Another piece of advice I would give new players is that probably just because you've died and just because you've taken a little bit of a dent to your maximum HP, I wouldn't use human effigies too often. Probably wait to use a human effigy until you're just really screwed and you're at like 50 or 60% health, then use one. Don't use one until you've died maybe 4 or 5 times at least. Unless you're going to go after bosses. If you're just running the level, don't worry about it. Just go in undead. That way you can keep your human effigies for when you really need them. So this ladder here is where we would normally come down if I didn't take that little path. But I'll show you in here is another little section. If you break this, I believe you need a key to advance. There is a guy behind here which we get to drop on. He was ready for it. Of course he was ready for it. Any other time I would have just smashed it. There's little guys in here that I'll show you now. They're little suicide bomber guys, exploding guys. They'll actually run at you and explode on the floor. They really fuck your shit up. Like I'm telling you, you've got to deal with these guys quickly. If you let them jump and fall at your feet, they'll drain about half of your health. And you can't even stop them. So that door's locked, so I'll come back here later. I'll continue on to the bonfire. I think down around here we can get ourselves a treasure. A very nice treasure indeed, an Estus Flask Shard. Now there are only 12 Estus Flask Shards in the entire game, so they are like hen's teeth. They are rare and they are very valuable. Essentially every flask shard that you pick up is another drink of the Estus, so yeah, they are like gold. There's none of this kindling the bonfire at every bonfire to get 20 Estus Flasks like in Dark Souls 1. No. And I quite like that as well. Kind of trivializes the difficulty when you could just have too many healing items at once. He's going to kick that barrel down, and I actually want that to hit... Damn it. I wanted that to hit the wall against me there so that it would destroy the wall and open up a little bonfire, but it wasn't to be. It's probably better off if we come at it from the other direction, from the other bonfire that I lit after I killed the pursuer. Kill him first, and then you can kick that barrel down and it hits the wall at the end, exploding, and it opens up another blacksmith. A very important blacksmith nonetheless. The reason why is because you can actually get him to infuse weapons with various elemental properties, so he can infuse your weapons with fire, poison, magic, lightning, all that sort of stuff. And he's the only blacksmith in the game to be able to do so. These guys here, very dangerous and very erratic as well. Some of these barrels have got fuel in them, similar to the casks of oil that the guys were throwing at us in No Man's Wharf. So he doesn't give a shit, he'll just bash anything and explode himself and you. But here we see Lucatiel.
I thought that might be you. You haven't
Now
changed
she
a
appears
bit,
in the Lost
have you?
Bastille. This is the next part of her journey. You can't summon her here, but
The longer
it's
I
important
am
to at least
here,
find
the
her and
more
talk to her to
madness I
advance her
discover.
dialogue and to advance her story.
A wretched place indeed, but not without traces of its former glory. What could have caused such degradation? Ah, yes, I have...
And she'll give you a human effigy.
Of course, Our land of Mirror is surrounded by enemies. There is only one way up in Mirror. My family had little fortune and no name. I had to carve up with two things: my sword and my loyalty to my lord. I was raised to... Life was hard, but I never gave it a second thought.
As you can
I
see,
had
the curse is
swift
taking her
success on the
mind as well.
battlefield
She
and
doesn't
quickly attained
quite remember
respectable
why
stature.
she's here. She's just here to seek fame and fortune.
And then I came here to... Have you heard of the undead? These poor souls affected by... An undead gradually... Finally, he turns hollow. And a hollow can never be human again. One can skirt this wicked fate only with the help of the souls found here. Assuming, of course, that the legends are true. I can only hope.
And there you can see she's starting to go hollow.
I'm sorry to burden you with talk of my fate. I suppose I've grown weird. I'm sorry.
Thanks, Lucatiel. Thanks for showing me that. Appreciate what you're showing me there. Right, down and around here you can actually use this window down here as a sniper spot if you've got enough bow and arrow. If you've got bow and arrows or spells or something, you can hit this guy in here. At least take them out. I'll show you a cool little technique, because this place is quite difficult, and I guarantee a lot of people are going to run into difficulties here. So when you come across here, you open the door. When you open the door, you're going to be ambushed by about two groups of guys. You're going to have a group of guys there, and also guys to your left here. They're just all going to rush you through the door, so you've got time here while they're still in this little alcove to get a few hits in, but they hit you really, really hard. What we can do is make a run for it. You can just back out across here and run laps around this little block here, and they've got no option but to... They can't get you up there. So they either have to go back in there or they're going to have to come around and face you that way. As you can see, they hit like a ton of bricks. Not too difficult if you've got an upgraded weapon like I do, but they're very tough. And they drop some cool armor as well. If you feel like wearing the Royal Swordsman's armor, it's very good stuff. Myself into a sticky situation here. Just play it safe, just take the hits when you can, wait for them to attack, and then punish them. Don't try and be a hero, because if you've got 5 of those guys on you at once, they're just going to smash you. There's a group of guys here as well. Same story. If they really push you back far enough, you can use that little technique out the door and just make them run around that little concrete part. You gotta be careful in here as well. All of these barrels are fuel barrels, so when they hit them, they're gonna explode everything. I guess you could just throw a firebomb in here and try and explode it, but not that adventurous. Not sure about the AI there. I'm not sure why they went for that ladder instead of coming after me, but I'm not complaining. Soul of a Proud Knight and another effigy. Alright, you know what? I think I'm going to go after this boss. 24,000 souls. I'm feeling good. So we've got a Radiant Life Gem, and you can summon a NPC, a quite handy computer NPC called Pilgrim Belclair. She's a spellcaster. She's amazing. She's one of the best computer NPCs you can get. She's got Soul Spear, Crystal Soul Spear, I believe, or it could just be normal Soul Spear. Don't quote me on that, I've not looked at it enough. But she's really awesome. So, as long as you can get the attention of the boss in here, she can sit there and spam spells all day. She's got sort of an unlimited supply of spells. Let's see how we go. Just want to make sure my equipment is up to scratch. So what have I got? Wood arrows. I've got some iron arrows as well. And it's not bad. I wonder if I have a crossbow. I think I'd prefer to use a crossbow. I've only got wooden bolts. I might put a hat on because we're going to be below 70% anyway, so I'll wear my little merchant hat. Alright, Belclair, let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, these are the Ruin Sentinels. This is quite a good test for your skills and abilities so far in the game. These guys are quite difficult, especially if you try and beat them on your own without any summons. They hit like the other enemies in here, they hit like a ton of bricks. You can see me just trying to take the Sentinel's attention from Belclair so she can just hit him with spells. Just look at that damage. That is lovely. Wasn't doing too good of a job there because now they're down on the ground. But as I said, there has been a patch to this, so your phantoms can dish quite a bit more damage and not die. I'm going to go down there and help her though. That's probably the biggest attack you've got to worry about. Once these guys are dead, the other two are going to come. This is where the fight gets real. Try and focus on one of them at a time. Try and keep both of them in your field of vision at the same time as well. The best way to go is to sort of take one on yourself and have your partner attack the other one so that they've only got the attention of one. You can see they're both onto me, which is okay. It allows Belclair to do her thing. So I'm just going to attack one of them while Belclair takes the other one. See, Belclair, she's doing okay. She's doing okay. As long as I can keep their attention over here, we should be sweet. Guys, this way. Not good when I can't see what's behind me. Not good at all. That's it, Belclair. One more. Oh, that's my girl. That's my girl right there. Don't want her to die, though. I want her to share in the victory. Go on, Belclair. Hit her again. Him again. That was fantastic. That's it. You drink that Estus. Why couldn't you drink that during the fight? I've never seen an NPC drink an Estus flask. Never. But that was really cool. I'm glad that she survived that one. So yeah, that's the Ruin Sentinels. It's important to summon that NPC and sort of take the pressure off of her. And that's going to wrap it up for this episode. I think we got quite a bit done. I'm happy with that. So, next time we're going to take on the Old Dragon Slayer, I think, in the Hades Tower of Flame. We're going to continue on towards the Lost Sinner and get our first Great Soul. And while I'm away, I'm just going to spend that time and level up with my 49,000 souls. So, thanks very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.